Police officials in Hawthorne, California were responding to an armed robbery. And while they were responding to that armed robbery, there were several residents in the neighborhood that were using their smartphones to capture footage of what was going on. Now, there were armed robbers that had barricaded themselves inside a home. And as you can see in the video that we're about to show you, there are multiple squad cars and armed police officers that are involved in a 1 hour and 45-minute standoff. Now, there was one resident in the area that caught the police's attention, and the following resulted. This video is very, very graphic. I'm giving you guys as much warning as possible.
I let the dog out. I let the dog out.
Oh shit, the dog.
And the dog. Look, he's trying to jump out too. Look. Jump out. Let it jump out. Oh shit. Hey, watch it. Watch it. Watch out. Hey, that dog. Hey, that dog. Get back, dude. Get back, dude. You gonna miss. Watch out.
So the context here is that that guy that's being arrested that you're seeing is obviously the owner of the dog and had nothing to do with what was happening in the house. But he did come by with his cell phone and he was recording the cops. He was by far the closest to the cops. The cops kept telling him to go away.
We actually have that video, so why don't we show that video? It'll give you guys more context into the story and why the police officers responded the way that they did.
So this is earlier on.
He's giving a bravos. I'd hate to be an officer right now.
Why ain't there no black cops?
You? Oh, he's gonna get him.
Oh shit, he's coming.
So there, the guy's recording that guy who was recording the cops. There's a lot of recordings going on there. We're saying, like, I'd hate to be the cops there. He's giving them a lot of problems. He keeps asking the cops, why aren't there any black cops here? Now, it's an hour and 45-minute standoff, and the cops don't want to be dealing with this guy. Now, but as you can see from the video, he was pretty far from the cops. The cops had to come quite a way to come and arrest them, and then, of course, the altercation. And he had put his dog in the car, but the dog jumped out of the car, as you saw in the beginning of the first video. So, but we have differing opinions here, and this is a little controversial. So let's do a Supreme Court on it. All right, Anna, what's your take?
My take as of now is that the police officers are guilty. And the reason why I feel that way is because what the man was doing in this case, his name is Leon Rosby, was not illegal, okay? He is allowed to film police officials while they are on a public street. He didn't get close to the cops. He didn't do anything that interfered with their investigation. He asked one question that irritated the cops, and that was, how come there are no black cops?
All
okay,
right, now,
and that's what led to the reaction from the police officials. Now, hold on, I want to continue. Afterwards, when they decided to arrest him, all right, he had actually put the Rottweiler in the car, but the window was down. So as they were arresting him, the Rottweiler, of course, is protective of his owner, so he jumped out of the car, and then it looked like he was coming at the police officers, right? So the police officers responded by shooting. But I mean, obviously we need more of an investigation because I'm not sure what they were armed with. Did they have a taser? Did they have another way of help,
Okay, I disagree. Now,
no, I don't disagree. That situation didn't even have to I mean, I do disagree with you, but I don't think you should disagree because that entire incident didn't even need to happen.
Now, look, so overall, he's not doing anything illegal. I got it. The cops should have had more patience. They shouldn't have gone after him. Having said that, he's in the cop's face. He's by far the closest to the cops. He's right up to the cop cars. He's taping them. I know. And look, I'm in favor of taping the cops. I am, and we catch so many of the abuses that way. You can go watch 100 of our videos to see that, okay? And he didn't ask them once. He kept hounding him. Well, why are there no black cops? Dude, we got a standoff in there. People are armed. Okay, I know you got your thing about why are there no black cops. I don't know. This is not the time to ask that question. And I can see it why it's getting on their last nerves. Now, but to me, I got the sense that he's trying to get on their last nerve, right? And then he's going to get them on tape and he's going to put it on YouTube or whatever it is. But put all that aside, still they shouldn't go after him. I largely agree with you. But when the Rottweiler comes, and she's trying to grab, or he, I don't know, the officer there is trying to grab the leash on 2 different occasions. Can't get the leash, and then the Rottweiler jumps up. If Rottweiler's jumping up at me, I'm shooting it. I am. I'm not going to take chances and be like, oh, okay, wait, did I have a taser? Did I have this? Could I have cuddled with it? And that's a dangerous animal, man. Look, and they tried, and then they had to put it down. I don't fault them for it.
And by the way, just hold on, let me finish. I think based on the one video we have, I mean, more evidence could come up that indicates that he was doing something to interfere with what the cops were trying to do with that armed robbery, right? But based on that video, I mean, they weren't even gonna talk to him. Immediately they went to, let's just arrest the guy and get him the hell out of here. Why don't you talk to him and say, look, you're interfering with our investigation right now.
But
Can you
talking
please?
to him interferes with the investigation. The guy's got to worry about the armed robber inside, and he's got to go deal with this guy. If I was the cops, I don't have time to deal with this guy.
Don't even deal with the guy. He's not doing anything wrong. Okay, he's filming you. Cops don't like to be filmed. I get it. Okay, so what? I mean, don't you think that that's a massive distraction if you're supposed to be focusing on the armed robberies, but you have time to go arrest someone?
I hear you. Let me go to the rest of the court here. Jesus.
Look, I'm a dog owner, so I might have a bias, but still, I think you don't do. I don't know. It just seems so wrong because it felt like they must be trained to deal with surroundings, especially in these circumstances. And it just felt like they weren't vigilant enough to know, okay, the guy put the dog in the car, but the windows are open. Everybody's saying, you could hear on the video, the dog's gonna jump out. The dog's gonna jump out. Everybody was so focused on the guy.
The cops didn't even have a minute to go close the guy's window.
No, but you could tell that once they see the dog kind of jump out of the car, they kind of put the owner in front.
That's right.
So that was the right way to do it. They should have kept going and said, hey, get your dog under control. They knew that guy wasn't a physical threat to them. So they could have uncuffed him, let him deal with his dog, and then that guy was voluntarily being arrested.
You guys are asking a lot of the cops.
No,
in the middle of an armed robbery to
but
be
I
like,
think they
"All right,
should be
now
trained.
he's
No, but they
become
should be
a total
trained.
goddamn
No, but they
distraction,"
should be
which is what
trained
he
to
wanted
deal
to be in the first place.
No, but they should be trained to deal with those circumstances. Like, not everything's gonna be so perfect for you to be like clear cut. Like, I feel it just
I
felt
want to see the end of that
unprepared.
video again because that dog jumped up significantly.
No, it did. I'm not saying the dog wasn't aggressive. Obviously, the dog was aggressive, but the way they handled it wasn't correct.
All right, I'm 2-1 against so far. J.R. Jackson, curious what you think.
Well, they wouldn't have been in the situation if they didn't go after this guy who was a block away. Do with your investigation, you can ignore. You're a trained police officer. Mm-hmm. So they shouldn't even been in a position where they do shoot the dog. I would expect them to shoot the dog. I wouldn't have done it myself. But they're in one of these situations where they're thinking, oh, the dog's jumping at me. And the dog didn't seem like he was going to do anything to them as far as attack-wise.
No, I totally disagree with all of you on that.
I didn't see that part.
It's easy for us, removed from the circumstance, to be like, I mean, it didn't seem like he was going to get the jugular.
Right, and that's the thing, which is why, again, if he shot the dog, I mean, that's one of those things. Now that your dog is in their face, you've lost control of your dog. So now they are in control of doing whatever they want to do to it. But they shouldn't have been there in the first place to kill the dog.
Okay, I understand what you guys are saying, and I largely agree with it. But can I get any kind of agreement that the guy also shouldn't have been there? Like, you're looking for trouble, dude. You were looking for trouble, and you found it.
Well,
are you happy?
He's a citizen. He gets to be wherever he wants to be, in my opinion. I think he can yell at the cops all he wants. I got cops that stared me down this morning for no fucking reason. Should I say, why are you looking at me? I can say that. But, I mean, maybe if I want a confrontation, but I get to say that.
I understand that, but, you know, they started it by looking at you for no reason, right? Mm-hmm. This guy's up in their face because he's dying for some sort of confrontation.
But is he really
like,
up
hey,
in their
Jesus,
face,
you're going to go
Jay?
like that. You would have done anything similar to that.
No, honestly,
Because he...
I definitely wouldn't do that. I wouldn't have put myself in that situation. But if I would have been in that situation, I would have told the officer, let me take care of my dog. I'm already, you could cuff me, you're already cuffing me. Let me go, I'll take care of the rot.
So what if in that scenario, it wasn't a black guy with his Rottweiler, it was some journalist, and the journalist is filming everything that's happening and decides to ask the cops a few questions? Does that mean that the cops get to arrest that person? It's on a public street, and if a person wants to know what's going on, I think that they have the right to know what's going on, especially if it's a person who's living in that neighborhood.
All right, number one, look, two things. Number one, I've lost overall. It's 3-1 ruling. Okay, the cops are guilty according to the Supreme Court here at DYT. Now, if I was a commissioner and I'm looking at that based on this evidence, I would have said, hey, listen, don't engage that guy. You're in the middle of an important armed robbery situation. Just ignore him. He's half a block away. I know he wants to cause trouble, so don't give in to him and cause that trouble. So I agree with you, Anna. I agree with you guys. The cops shouldn't have gone down there. I also would be super annoyed at the guy who I definitely don't have much good feelings towards. You guys feel like, yeah, you wouldn't have done it, but whatever, he has the right to do it. But I'm mad at the guy. He got his dog shot. He got his dog shot because he was looking for trouble, and he's like, ha ha, he's so clever. And then when the dog jumps up, and on that part, if I was a commissioner, I'd be like, definitely not guilty.
That's where it's a mixed thing for me. That's what I was saying. Once his dog is out there jumping at the police, you almost expect him to shoot the dog. That's the downside. So them shooting it, I don't know if there should be prosecution for the dog. No, if that's the question, no. But they shouldn't have been in a position to be, because I think they wronged the guy in the first place before the dog got out of the car. When they had the man in cuffs, they're already wrong. Now the dog's out. Now it's your fault because your dog's in their face, and that's what's going to happen to your dog. I don't think they should have done it, but there's no prosecution for that.
I agree. Look, I understand exactly what JR is saying. I really think both sides are guilty, okay? But overall, we're in agreement. The cops shouldn't have gone down there, and then when the dog jumps up, then we're more split on it. But if that dog's jumping at me, I'm shooting.